I'm 12 Tone, you're awesome, and today is Spotify Wrapped Day. A very special day, a day a lot of people look forward to. So I thought it would be fun to go through my artist project Spotify Wrapped, and then also my Spotify Wrapped as a personal individual listener. My artist project is called Ciao, Marigold. It's where I release like lo-fi, psychedelic, chill instrumental music. And it did really well last year. It got about 100,000 streams. It was on about 4,000 playlists, but I haven't looked at the Spotify Wrapped yet, so we're gonna see together what's going on. All right, I'm gonna screen record my phone. This is a Ponyo phone case, by the way. Let's dive in. Okay. All right, let's see what's up. 2024 was quite a year, yes indeed. Feels good to be heard. This year you had 1.64 million listeners. I think currently I've got like 450,000 monthly. So I don't know how they like add up all these numbers. I guess it's like 1.64 million unique listeners over the course of the year. 7.56 million streams. 7.56 million streams. That's insane. Yeah, last year I had a little over 100,000 or somewhere maybe a little under 100,000. So that's a very big leap. You might be wondering like how do you get to a number like this when your numbers last year were like 100,000 streams total? TikTok and understanding the Spotify algorithm and using both of those platforms to your advantage, plus a little extra, plus some luck for sure. I'm going to make a whole video about the full journey of this year of Ciao and how I got to where I am now. But for now, let's just keep going. Your music was streamed for 841 million seconds. What even does that mean? 14 million minutes, 233,000 hours. Holy fuck. 9.74 thousand days. My God, it adds up to 26 years. 26 years worth of listening. I know it's even more than that because they stopped counting Spotify Wrapped stats like around mid-November, right? So actually that's just from January 1st to November 15th. That's still just, I don't even know how to make sense of that number. Where in the world have you been? In 2024, your music traveled to 181 countries. How many countries are there even? I don't know that I could even name 181 countries. Top countries, United States, not surprising. UK, not surprising. Germany, number 3. Wow. Just wow. Australia. Just shout out Australia. I don't even know what to say besides that. My Australian fans are so nice. They're so good. I feel like Australia, when they get into stuff, they get into it really heavy. They're very passionate. There's also just so much Australian music that inspires me, like Hiatus Coyote, Surprise Chef. That they definitely inspire Ciao. So to see the love come back from Australia is just amazing. Canada, number 5. All these top 5 countries too. Like I'm just so fortunate. These are what Spotify calls tier 1 countries, so their streams pay well. So to have most of my streams coming from countries that pay well is just like an incredible blessing. Yo, it's me editing. I didn't make it clear enough in the video, but let me just say, Spotify has a lot of problems. They don't pay musicians well enough. This video is just about expressing the joy of Wrapped. What I'm trying to get at in this part of the video is that these are the countries that pay well within the system of Spotify. So don't get it twisted. I have a lot of complaints. It's just that's for a different video. And if you want to hear me get into it, I'm happy to. Just let me know in the comments. Okay, back to the video. I love seeing my music being played in all kinds of countries all over the world. And by the way, not just countries where there isn't even Spotify. I love to see the stats on all kinds of different platforms. But yeah, this is just really special. What's next? Just like there's only one of you, you can only have one top song. What will my top song? Oh yeah, it's Monstera Esqueleto for sure. Yeah, Monstera Esqueleto. That one has just completely blown up in the Spotify algorithm. What's funny is it's not the track that I was able to get blow up, like was able to have do well on TikTok. There are two other tracks from this same album that I was able to have like go semi-viral on TikTok, but then once like the traffic started flowing, actually Monstera Esqueleto is what got kind of picked up in the Spotify algorithm. It's been really interesting to watch, but far and away, this one has more streams. 2.8 million plays, 1.09 million listeners. Wow, so that's like almost a 3 to 1 stream per listener ratio. That's pretty good, considering like the numbers are so high. I'm Look, these are numbers that I've, of course, wanted. All of us do with our music, but I never imagined that it would happen this quickly. There's no way around it. Your fans love your music. Duh. I mean, that's how fans work. Your tracks were saved 142,000 times. That's a lot of saves. That's more saves than I had streams last year. Goodness gracious. And added to 46,000 playlists. So that's a more than 10x increase from last year. 46,000 playlists. One of them was an editorial, which I can get into when I do a full breakdown. Hit subscribe if you want to see that longer video. One of those being editorial playlists. Your fans know how to spread the love. This will be interesting. I feel like they're going to be able to do a breakdown of like sharing statistics. They shared your music 3.88 thousand times. We love that. Thank you to everyone who shared. Yeah, I want to see this broken down. A pie chart. Okay, direct link 42%. Wait, how do I do this? Oh shit. Okay. Text 20%. WhatsApp 18%. Wow. Instagram 15%. Other 5%. And that's it. All right, so what does this mean? So direct link 42%. So someone just, I don't know, came off Google or email from a link they got or like a search result they got. Text is someone got texted a link and then they clicked on it, that's amazing that a fifth of my traffic, or a fifth of the shares came from texting one person to another. WhatsApp, that's basically like another form of texting. So it's almost like it's like 2/5 of my traffic is coming from people texting one another. Instagram 15%, that's just amazing. I mean, I put links like on my stories sometimes, but there's no way that that accounts for all of the clicks and shares. 15. So there must just be so much sharing on Instagram that like I don't see because they're not tagging me. That's just amazing. Other 5%, I don't even know how to think about what those 5% are, like what the actual modality is. But basically, if you combine WhatsApp and texting, oh, it still wouldn't be as much as direct link. What is direct link? If you know, like, let me know in the comments. Is it like emailing? I actually don't know what direct link is referring to. Your most shared tracks were Monstera Esqueleto, Unsurprising, Passiflora Flavicarpa. This is more of like a lo-fi house track. I've gotten a lot of DMs about it, and it shows up on a lot of playlists. So I'm not surprised. These are all from the first album of Ciao Ciao. There are, at this point, 3 Ciao Ciao albums out. Epipremnum Aureum Enjoy. These two, Passiflora and Epipremnum, those I've been able to get like a lot of traffic on TikTok too. So these are unsurprising, especially like under the shares category. But just wow. Just wow. You've leveled up this year. You gained 6,614% more listeners. I mean, what are these numbers? This is crazy. Over 9,000% streams, over 2,000% saves. Like, what the hell? I don't even know. I don't even know how to make sense of numbers this big. Over 3,000 in playlists. I like the graphics of this one. This is cool looking. Plus 2,000% followers. I've said in other videos that's a really secretly powerful statistic, and I'm always happy to get more followers. I feel like a lot of things happen downstream of getting followed, and I want to figure out more ways to get even more Spotify followers in the future. Plus 2,523% canvas views. Yeah, I put a canvas on basically all of my tracks, and I feel like it helps, even if it's just Spotify seeing that I'm invested in my account. I feel like it helps, and it's like kind of slept on weirdly, even though like video and visual content, people understand how valuable it is. People still sleep on the canvases on Spotify. Now that's next level. Let's talk new music. Yes, let's. This year you had your biggest release week with Byung-gyul. Crazy graphics. It got 56,000 streams in the first week after dropping. That's the point I'm at with Ciao now, where like anything I release is going to get a couple 10,000 streams in the first week, 2 weeks. It's really amazing. I have to be careful because like if anything I put out gets lots of streams, then how am I going to tell like what's any good? So I got to be careful here. But yeah, all this stuff is just stuff I've already made. I'm just rolling out my album. And it's absolutely incredible. Your music isn't the only thing that's a work of art. That's true. My canvases were seen 286,000 times. I'm a top 10 artist for 4,410 fans. Wow. 4,410 fans. I'm a top 10 artist for. The thing about Spotify, like, I don't have any way of reaching those people, which is pretty tough. I wish there was a way to, like, speak with them more directly. TikTok is also not a good way to speak, like, very directly in a consistent basis with your fans. So that's why, like, it's a big goal of mine to grow YouTube and, in particular, Instagram. Like, Instagram DMs have been absolutely invaluable lately. I've been learning so much about like which tracks kind of mean more to people, which is surprisingly like not always the top 3, top 5 tracks that get streamed. And then just like letting people know when I have a show, when there's a new release coming out, when I'm dropping merch. Like Spotify currently doesn't give me a direct line to these people. This like, I mean, 4,000 like activated, engaged fans is like way more powerful than say like a million just kind of passive listeners, in my opinion. Um, wow. But that's just either way, that's just like a beautiful number. Unbelievably grateful. Unbelievably grateful. I'm a top 5 artist for 1.7 thousand of those people. Cause like I assume that's like a subgroup in the first group that we saw. I'm the top artist for 261 fans. Wow. I'm the top artist for 261 fans. For the whole year. Wow. Thank you for sharing your music with the world. You're welcome. And that's it. That's Spotify Wrapped for 2024 as an artist. Now let's check out as a listener. While I'm here though, I'm going to show you this really amazing tool that Spotify has available that very few people seem to know about. I'm just on my page because I want to see, I have about 440 8.8 thousand monthly listeners. All right, I'm going to save that because I'm going to open up this tool. Loud and Clear is a report that Spotify puts out at the end of every year. I think it's either the beginning of every year or the end of every year to like summarize all their like statistics across the platform. And there are all these interesting reports and breakdowns that you can see how you fall into the larger picture of Spotify as a platform and all the artists on it. And one of the tools, if you just like click around, is this thing where you can see how many artist accounts have more either track streams or monthly listeners than you. And it helps you kind of get a sense of like what percentile you're in, because if you know, I think there's like 11 million artist accounts on Spotify. So if you know that total number and you know how many artist accounts are above you, then you can determine like where exactly you fall in the hierarchy. I don't use this for like competition's sake. I use this to get a sense of how well I'm doing on a graded curve. So let's put in, what was it? 448,000? Is that what it was? I can't even remember. So monthly listeners, compare. So there's only 24,000 other accounts on Spotify that have the same or more number of monthly listeners than me. So that's incredible. I mean, if you have over 100, like let's actually look at that. Like let's say you have 100 monthly listeners. If Spotify has like 11 million accounts on it, 11 million artist accounts, you're already ahead of like 9 million other accounts if you have only 100 listeners. That's how hard it is to get monthly listeners in this day and age. So be proud of yourself, no matter what number. Like let's for example look at 1,000. How many other accounts also have 1,000 or more? 815,000. So you're already in the top million if you have 1,000 monthly listeners. Think about that. That's insane. You've accomplished so much if you already have more than 1,000. So if you see my Ciao numbers, like this and that in the millions, number of streams, whatever, don't be discouraged. If you have over 100 monthly listeners, if you have over 1,000 monthly listeners, the hardest part is behind you. The hardest work is behind you, I promise. So that's a really useful tool, Loud and Clear. All right, that was a fun little detour, but now let's go check out my personal Spotify. I feel like my algorithm is going to be a little cooked. Before I even open this, I want to make some predictions. So here's the problem. At the beginning of the year, I made all these Ciao Marigold live streams on YouTube where I was looping my music using my Spotify account, just like as if it was like a Ciao Marigold radio station, using a Spotify playlist that I made where I just like had all my music on it. So I feel like that factor plus the fact that like I listen to Ciao just to check mixes and stuff all the time. Like check the mixes of new stuff against the old stuff to make sure like it's all very listenable together. I feel like probably Ciao Marigold is going to be my top bunch of tracks. But okay, any non-Ciao artists, what would I predict? I would predict McGee. Like, it's going to be all McGee. When Dream Police came out, like, what was that, April? I was like right on it. That's like right when I first found McGee. I didn't know McGee before that. The day it came out, I found out about it and I immediately fell in love. And I basically was like, after that, only listening to McGee like all year. If you watch my studio build video, I actually made a little list of music recommendations based on what I had been listening to up to that point. So if you want to know what I was listening to before Dream Police came out, that's actually in my studio build video. But after that, I can't imagine it's anything other than McGee, which is hilarious. I haven't been listening to his stuff as much lately, like especially not the new stuff. Rockman is cool. It just doesn't hit me as hard as Dream Police did. Dream Police is like one of my favorite albums of this century. I think it's like one of the most amazing offerings of like young musicians right now. And he's definitely an artist to keep an eye on. You can feel free to flame me in the comments for either like coming too late to McGee or claiming to come too early to McGee, or you can flame me for not liking Rockman as much. Like it's fine. I'll take all of it. But enough build up. Let's see. All right. Pink Pantheress is playing. I don't know if this video is gonna get copyright restricted, but there's hella Pink Pantheress coming at me right now. Oh yeah, Andy Schaaf. Okay, 19, almost 20,000 minutes. June was my biggest day. Where do you find the time? Oh my god. I played over 2,000 songs. Now we've got McGee in the background. I mean, my top song absolutely was a McGee song. Oh my god, top 0.001%. I'm such a dork. 170 times. That's less than I thought it would be. 170 times? More McGee coming at me. While it's not a competition, there is a leaderboard. Holy shit. It's all McGee. Interestingly, like it's not in the order of the album. You've changed, and so has your listening. Let's look at my music evolution. December. April. What are you doing? I don't understand what I'm seeing. What are these graphics? April was your smooth escape room alternative R&B phase. McGee, Solange, Dijon. Wait, whoa. Dijon? I mean, I like Dijon, but I don't listen to Dijon like all that much. I listen to Solange a lot, but where did Dijon come in there? Like, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. All respect to Dijon, but what? All right, May. Tim Bernardus, Bernardes. Twinkly, tropical, Brazilian indie, for sure. I don't know about. I mean, I listen to a ton of Brazilian music from all eras. I was actually just like talking with a friend about it, but I don't know. I feel like they're adding in other artists that I don't listen to all that much in here. I don't know how the algorithm works. Like maybe it's not in raw streams. Maybe they're taking into account some other things like I don't know, maybe how much I playlist something or I don't know. How does the algorithm work for Spotify Wrapped? August. Okay. Some UK garage, some new K garage for sure. Serotonin Catwalk UK garage. MPH for sure. Yo, MPH, if you don't listen, I mean if you're into like house and UK garage like and you don't know MPH, definitely check him out. He's absolutely incredible. Salute too for sure. Jev, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Jev's in New York. Jev has a bunch of cool tracks that I like. So shout out all these artists. Definitely recommend checking them out if you don't know them. Oh man, back to McGee. You listen to 1,288 artists. One had a special place in your heart and ears. For sure. It's for sure, McGee. There's no way around it. I mean, absolutely monumental album. Wow. That's amazing. I'm a 0.1% fan. Yeah, I am actually a little surprised that like some of his other earlier tracks aren't on there because like I Rock, CZ, and Overtime a lot. Like I would think just as much as Dream Police. Maybe they're like just outside the top 5 and I'm just not seeing it on here. But anyway, hats off to McGee. 2024, obviously, you gotta hand it to like Sabrina Carpenter, Charlie XCX, Chapel Roan. Forgive me if I'm leaving out some other giant artist who dominated 2024. Oh, I mean Beyonce. Yeah, sorry. But I mean, Miggy's also amazing. Yeah, Cowboy Carter is an awesome album. I don't listen to the other three artists as much that I just mentioned, but it's no shade on anyone. I'm just, my heart definitely goes out to McGee. Who else got a lot of play this year? Well, that's a Chow Chow track playing. Chow Chow. All right, let's pause here. McGee, Chow Chow, Lion Milk, Andy Schaaf, Pink Pantheress. Um, yeah, none of these are surprising. The Andy Schaaf, like, I was just listening to so much while I was building the studio. There's no doubt about it. And Pink Pantheress, too. I mean, I rock Pink Pantheress all the time. Um, and then Lion Milk is not an artist that has come up yet in any of my videos, but I'm a big fan, especially of the Club Diego collab record. What is the name of that record? I can't think of it off the top of my head because like I just pull it up and throw it on and listen to it on loop over and over again. It's like this amazing electronic album. Uh, Shout out Lion Milk. Shout out Club Diego for sure. Ciao, ciao. I'm a little embarrassed, but you understand. It's all about Pink Pantheress. It's all about Pink Pantheress.
Hello to my pink cubs and my top listeners on Spotify. Thank you for having me as your top listened to artist on Spotify. I want to remain in each other's lives forever for the foreseeable future, platonically. Even filming this, it's so cute. I just want you to be happy. I just want you to go into 2025 feeling good. Little secret for you, I am planning to drop something in the year 2025 too. I know I've been very quiet recently, but there is hopefully it's something very exciting coming for you. I have undying love for everybody. Thank you so much for letting me be in this position. I appreciate you all so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Oh my gosh. Wow, I got a special message from Pink Pantheress. Wow, that was dreamy. She said she's gonna drop something in 2025. I will be there. I will be waiting. Cannot wait. All right, this is Sam Evian, who I also adore. This is Wisteria that's playing in the background. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Until we meet again. Okay. Wow. Just wow. That was crazy. Okay, I mean, I accurately predicted my top two. What a year. My gosh. It's my first year in the studio. This is the year where Chow Chow started really blowing up. It's cool to go back and look through. It's almost like going through like an old photo album. So cheers to 2024. I'm wishing all the artists out there watching this an amazing next year. Hit subscribe. I'm going to make a video breaking down how I got all these streams this year, how I did it on TikTok, how I did it on Spotify, what I learned about the algorithms of those platforms. I'll take you through the whole thing. Keep an eye out for that video. Peace.